Got a history pop quiz coming up? Well, sit down, sit back, and relax. And possibly take notes, if you want. Today, I'm taking you guys on a government crash course. And to make this way more fun than a boring high school lecture, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know using Spongebob. First up, capitalism. And dang, I wonder who the hell could represent that.
Look, Squidward, money!
Mr. Krabs, I can't believe I'm saying this, but how could you trade Spongebob for 62 cents?
You think I could have gotten more?
Cheapy the Cheapskate, aka Eugene Krabs, is greedier than I was at this year's Thanksgiving. So what makes Mr. Krabs the living embodiment and, dare I say, final boss of capitalism? What even is capitalism anyway? First and foremost, it's a type of economic system where the citizens own and run the companies, not the state. It's a system that promotes entrepreneurship, and so the Krusty Krab was born.
The finest eating establishment ever established for eating. The Krusty Krab.
In a capitalist society, the owners decide which goods and services they want to provide. They set their own prices as well. That of course leads to customers getting ripped off harder than a bowl of nails.
$101 for a Krabby Patty?
With cheese, Mr. Squidward.
Most Western countries are capitalist countries, and undersea societies like Bikini Bottom are no exception. As the owner of the most successful company in town, Mr. Krabs is a capitalist king, and I'm going to use this greedy piece of crustacean garbage in my arm
Unhand that penny or the arm comes off!
to explain the problems with capitalism, starting with all the wealth disparity it causes. In a capitalist society, all the wealth and power goes into the hands or big meaty claws of a small percentage of the population, leading to massive economic inequality. Essentially, Mr. Krabs has more money than he could ever possibly need.
Do you mind? I'm trying to make a money angel here.
Ooh, money angels!
Meanwhile, poor, destitute Bikini Bottomites are forced to beg on the streets. Some of them even eat the unthinkable just to avoid starving to death.
My home, everything!
Oh, even your paintings?
Nobody would take them, so I had to eat them!
Capitalism can lead to a lot of worker exploitation too. Where do I even start with this guy? When Krabs isn't working the Krusty Crew from dusk till dawn for peanuts,
I don't pay you to breathe.
You hardly pay us at all.
he just flat out dips into their hard-earned paychecks. Made a whole video on that one. He literally charges them for goofing off too. And by that I mean,
Did me pay you to stand at the cash register? What is the meaning of this?
while Mr. Krabs' actions are a very extreme example of worker exploitation, the point still stands nonetheless. In a capitalist society, workers get paid far less than the true value of their labor, and the money they should be making goes into the pocket of their employer, who does very little work themselves. I mean, what jobs does Krabs even do while Spongebob and Squidward are slaving away to make him even richer? He counts his money, jams to the bangers on the radio, and of course, foils Plankton's attempts to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula.
Humbuck it with you! You pay for this, Krabs!
As you can see, Mr. Krabs basically does jack compared to the rest of the Krusty Crew, but because of capitalism, he brings home 99% of the restaurant's profits. Up next, liberalism, represented by Spongebob. Unlike capitalism, liberalism isn't an economic system, it's a political way of thinking. The main belief liberals hold is that every person has the right to live free and pursue their own goals. Another common viewpoint is that people have a responsibility to care for animals and prevent their suffering. Now, turning a blind eye to that time Spongebob viciously attacked Clamu with a peanut, he really does care for animals, and he'll do anything to protect them. There are many examples of this in the show, but probably the most memorable is in the episode Jellyfish Hunter. I tried to sound like the French narrator guy, but in this episode, Spongebob gets the customers so hooked on jellyfish jelly Krabby Patties, Fred the fish bursts into song without even breaking his leg.
Tastiest sandwich in the sea. Yeah.
Greedy for more money, Krabs adds the jellyfish jelly Krabby Patties to the menu and orders SpongeBob to go out and capture some jellies for the new special. Believing Krabs' promise that he'll make the jellyfish nice and comfortable, SpongeBob heads to jellyfish fields and captures just 1 or 2 jellies. Nothing major.
More! 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 More!
SpongeBob's kidnapped an entire ecosystem of jellyfish, but there's always been one too quick for his net, and now he's come back to avenge his abducted brethren.
Blue jelly! Ah, hey, old no name, what's happening?
No Name kidnaps SpongeBob and takes him to a shady-looking factory that's even more horrible on the inside than it is on the out.
What is this horrible place?
Shocked by the horrific conditions, SpongeBob wonders what kind of evil, wicked monster could be responsible for all this suffering. You'd think the guy who sold his soul for 62 cents would have been an immediate prime suspect.
Mr. Krabs? No!
SpongeBob storms the factory and confronts Krabs for torturing innocent jellyfish. And while I'm sure he was prepared to do whatever it took to free the jellyfish,
Something that should have been done a long time ago.
No!
The squeaky bolt on this door was driving me crazy.
in the end, stupid old Krabs foiled his own evil plot. And I thought that was only Plankton's thing.
And it will only open if I say open.
As that episode proved, SpongeBob cares deeply about animal rights and preventing suffering. Like other liberals, he's against war and violence as well. Okay, he's done his fair share of battles, particularly on snow days. At his core, SpongeBob really is the most peaceful little guy. I mean, he's always the first to step in and try and resolve conflict, even if it does get him roasted by a savage background character.
Be smart and bring it off.
Oh, so now the talking cheese is gonna preach to us.
But guys, don't let that distract you from the fact that one, Patrick thinks a sandwich condiment is an instrument,
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
and two, he just really wants to do some kicking.
Do some kicking!
Why, you?
Dude got immediately humbled. With all the energy Patrick saved sleeping under his rock, you'd think he'd be a better fighter. Speaking of the laziest starfish in Bikini Bottom, he's the perfect character to embody this next type of government, communism. It comes from the Latin word communis, which means shared, and that's exactly what a communist system is. Everything is owned by the whole community. So how does Patrick fall into any of that? A big part of his character is that he's a massive freeloader. Like, how many times has he raided SpongeBob's fridge without permission? From eating 50 Krabby Patties with extra cheese and then not coughing up a single dime?
Get down to business.
What's that?
It's your bill.
I don't have any money.
To stealing Gary away from SpongeBob, then having the audacity to use his place to do laundry.
They're heavy too.
Here it comes.
Patrick doesn't work and just mooches off of everyone as if private ownership doesn't exist. And that, my friends, is communism. Well, minus the not working part. Seriously, did you know being unemployed was practically illegal in the Soviet Union? Imagine if communist Russia invaded Bikini Bottom. Patrick would be thrown in the slammer so fast. I mean, even if he wanted to work, he couldn't. Like, he's so darn stupid, I honestly feel bad for the guy.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
With communism being the opposite of capitalism, it sounds like it should be a neat idea, right? Well, it's got its downsides too. Way too often, it's led to a loss of individual rights, and that, my friends, leads to something called authoritarianism, a slippery slope which can quickly turn into a full-blown dictatorship. To start a dictatorship, first you need a dictator, and I think I can easily find an eager volunteer.
I'm busy planning to rule the world!
Well, good luck with that.
A dictatorship is any government where a single person or small group rules over everyone with unlimited power. For example, that mustache guy Cartman worships. After years of being pushed around and stepped on, becoming an evil dictator and having power over everyone is Plankton's ultimate dream. I was never quite sure of how stealing a recipe for sandwiches correlated with that, but it frankin' did. In the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Krabs opens up the Krusty Krab 2, and feeling more jealous than ever before, Plankton turns to his most evil, diabolical, lemon-scented plan yet.
This plan C can't possibly fail!
That night, Plankton steals Neptune's crown and leaves only the most damning piece of evidence behind to frame Krabs.
Crime! I stole your crown, signed Eugene Krabs!
Mr. Krabs will be executed for stealing the crown. However, King Neptune agrees to spare his life if SpongeBob and Patrick can bring it back from the Forbidden Shell City. In the meantime, Krabs remains frozen where he stands, and with the Krusty Krab doors wide open, any old thief can just burst right on in and make off with the millions of dollars in his safe. Or a piece of paper in a bottle.
Well, I'd like to hang around, but I've got Krabby Patties to make.
Over at the chum bucket?
Plankton starts selling Krabby Patties at the Chum Bucket and gives away a free bucket helmet with every purchase. There was one thing he left out of the disclaimer though, and it's definitely way more terrifying than no free refills.
What?
Now that everyone in Bikini Bottom is under Plankton's control, the entire city is ruled by him, and the name Bikini Bottom just had to go.
Or should I say, Planktopolis.
All hail Plankton. No resting!
With the help of their awesome mustaches, the Goofy Goobertier and David Hasselhoff, SpongeBob and Patrick brought the crown back from Shell City. However, the giant Cyclops was only the start of their problems.
All hail Plankton. All hail Plankton.
SpongeBob saves the day with a Goofy Goober rock song, and Plankton's empire comes crashing down faster than the Quickster can run to that mountain and back. Real-life dictators typically get executed or just flat-out kill themselves once they've been overthrown. Also, they don't get overthrown by rock music most of the time. This is a kid's movie though, so evil Plankton's punishment is just a really, really long time out.
Come on, you guys knew that, didn't you? With the helmets and the big monuments.
While he rots in jail, let's move on to conservatism explained by Squidward. Conservatism is a political belief that everything should be kept as is, because this is the only way to ensure a stable and orderly society. At the root of conservatism is a general distrust of human nature, as conservatives believe people are born to cause evil and destruction. And if you don't think Squidward agrees with this, you have not seen the show. How many times have SpongeBob and Patrick destroyed his stuff, his house, his sanity?
You call yourselves good neighbors? You're the worst neighbors! You don't deserve to wear those fezzes!
The biggest weakness of a society completely resistant to social change is obviously the long-standing injustices it causes, like oppressing marginalized groups and denying basic rights. A least bleak con of conservatism is that an obsession with order and sameness can suffocate individuality. And trust me, Squidward has learned this the hard way. In Squidville, SpongeBob and Patrick destroy Squidward's house with a reef blower. This is the final straw, so he moves away to a gated community just for octopuses. Sponges and starfishes specifically not invited.
Are you now, or have you ever been a sponge?
No.
What about it?
No starfish.
Every resident in Tentacle Acres looks, behaves, and acts like Squidward. It's clean, quiet, orderly, predictable, exactly what he's always longed for. Even the rude Fricks.
I've heard better comebacks from a turkey sandwich. Get a life!
This place is better than I expected.
Conservatism often values social stability, predictable routines, and preserving a familiar way of life, so Squidward moving to this neighborhood is a clear testament to that ideology. While it's true conservatives like order and tradition, nobody wants to live in a society so uniformed, everybody has the exact same routine day in and day out. Bored and trapped in the monotony, Squidward breaks free from the social norms of Tentacle Acres by playing with the very device that sent him here in the first place. Squidward continues causing chaos with his oversized hairdryer, causing an angry mob to chase after him with a well-thought-out and organized list of complaints. Meanwhile, SpongeBob and Patrick have snuck into the neighborhood to apologize, but how on earth will they find Squidward in a town where everybody looks the same?
We finally found you!
Get off me! I'm not Squidward.
Are you Squidward now?
While Squidward insults the residents of Tentacle Acres and vows to move back to Bikini Bottom, Squidward and Patrick keep trying to find him. And this is a really tough job, like any one of these Squidwards could have been the real Squidward. But hey, at least they can roll out the fire hydrant and this guy.
Well, we know one thing. It sure isn't that guy.
Squidward perfectly demonstrated how conservatism promises a simple, orderly life, but can just as easily push people toward rebellion. I wonder if Squidward ever got a slice of that apology cake when SpongeBob eventually found him. Hopefully not. Patrick ate fried oyster skins that day. No way that fricker didn't fart on the cake like 50 times.
We're ready!
Sandy's next in this crash course, and what type of government is she representing? As the smartest critter in Bikini Bottom, it's gotta be technocracy, right? This is essentially an idea that a government shouldn't be run by politicians at all. Scientists and experts in technology should have all the power. Imagine if Bikini Bottom was run by Sandy. Perhaps the city would be cleaner, more efficient, just a better quality of life for everyone. Well, except varmints who dare to take the name of Texas in vain. The main goal of technocracy is to solve all of society's problems using science, and while a lot of Sandy's experiments have gone terribly, terribly wrong.
Mr. Tentacles.
It all started when I was born.
She is actually capable of saving society using science. I mean, there's literally a whole movie about it. In Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, Bikini Bottom suddenly gets scooped out of the ocean. Sandy and Spongebob travel to Texas to confront the evil CEO who's responsible, and honestly, the fate she has planned for Bikini Bottomites doesn't even sound that bad if you ask me.
Boy, it's a crab man!
That's right, Bobby. Mr. Krabs. And you can collect all of Mr. Krabs' friends.
While Spongebob and the others get put in the cloning machine, Sandy battles Sue. After winning the fight and losing a tooth, she builds a device to propel Bikini Bottom back into the ocean. And yeah, she had to improvise a bit with the power source. The gang runs too fast, so Bikini Bottom ends up getting shot into outer space. Sandy tells everyone to jump up and down so their combined weight will push them back into the Pacific. And are you really trying to tell me right now no one got hurt by this? Like, not even the My Leg guy? Only someone as smart as Sandy could have saved Bikini Bottom, but I can't be the only one who's kinda bummed. Like, I would've collected all those frackin' sea pals. So, if a technocracy is where scientists run the government, then a robotocracy has gotta be where robots take over everything, right? Dang, nobody better tell SpongeBob. I think he still has nightmares about this movie.
Of the robot.
Even though a robot-controlled society sounds utterly terrifying, there are a few benefits to it. For example, robots can work 24/7 without ever really needing a break. They're capable of performing most manual and white-collar jobs as well, as we're learning right now, but maybe nothing chef-related.
Oh, goody! Holographic meatloaf again!
Karen really is so much more than just Plankton's computer wife who nags him, though. She's actually the smartest resident of Bikini Bottom. Look at how analytical she is.
Plankton. 1% evil, 99% hot gas.
Robots yield more accurate results as long as they aren't subjected to human error. Therefore, they're better than us at nearly every single job ever. In a robotocracy society, employers won't need to hire people anymore, so job displacement and massive rates of unemployment are bound to happen. Not Patrick, though. Oh no, this starfish will be working his overtime 10 times harder than any dumb robot.
So, this is work?
You know, it's not as easy as it looks. Sometimes I gotta move the antenna, sometimes I lose the remote, and sometimes my butt itches real bad.
Robots also lack human creativity and empathy, as proven by Karen that time she mercilessly mocked her poor husband simply for having the name he was born with.
For years, it has been my goal to acquire the secret formula for... But okay, that's enough!
As robots by nature lack human empathy, it's easy for them to not give a flying frick about causing pain and suffering to people. If we ever let machines run society, we're practically asking for an authoritarian robot regime, one where humans might get treated even worse than Mr. Krabs' appliances.
62-67! Well, actually, that one was a gift. No!
While aristocracy is far from ideal, it sounds a whole lot better than an army of Karens destroying everything. It's one of the oldest types of government, one where those born into nobility have all the power and everybody else is a lowly peasant searching for their next meal. You're probably expecting King Neptune or Princess Mindy to represent aristocracy, right? Well, I've actually picked Pearl. Just hear me out, okay? While her cheapskate father, Mr. Krabs, treats her more like a peasant than a princess.
Pearl, those are the finest fishing boots available!
Dad, you ruined me!
but I got him for a bargain!
The show does actually use her background, lifestyle, and social status to mimic traits of an upper-class figure. As the daughter of the wealthiest yet stingiest businessman in town, Pearl's social status is remarkably high, and she's regularly seen hanging out with Bikini Bottom's snobby elite teens, even though they treat her like a moldy old Krabby Patty.
Coming to my totally coral birthday party tomorrow?
I don't know, Pearl. Is this gonna be as totally coral as last year, when your dad passed out paper clips as party favors?
Just like an aristocrat, Pearl receives special treatment over everyone else, at least inside the Krusty Krab. In Bossy Boots, for example, Pearl gets made the new manager and given power over SpongeBob and Squidward simply because of the family she was born into, or adopted into. Has the show ever even explained how a crab ended up with a whale daughter? Anyway, when will someone make a onesie of the Cuddly Crab uniforms? Because I've been waiting for one of those for like 20 years. That's 20 years too many. Come on, capitalism.
Avast, ye shipmates! Don't these just shiver your timbers?
Pearl changes the Krusty Krab's name to the Cuddly Crab and ditches the iconic patties for salads to create a totally hip corral place for teens to hang out. Squidward has long stormed away by this point, but once Pearl takes away SpongeBob's spatula and his dignity with it, he's over the new manager as well.
Mr. Krabs, Pearl is ruining the Krusty Krab.
What?
Mr. Krabs has a meltdown over all the money he's been spending on Pearl's ridiculous but totally adorable renovations. It's time for him to put his foot down, though, and by that I mean he's gonna make SpongeBob fire her instead. What a coward.
I can't take it anymore. Nothing I do is working. I've been trying to get fired since day one. I was only pretending to like this place to please Daddy.
SpongeBob decides to pretend fire Pearl outside the office. Hearing his little girl's dreams get crushed sends Mr. Krabs into cardiac arrest and he collapses to the floor. But don't worry, all he needs is a cheapskate's version of CPR.
Is that a 20? Oh, SpongeBob! How could we have done such a thing to my own flesh and blood?
Bossy Boots perfectly showed how aristocracy passes power via inherited privilege or nepotism. Pearl only became manager because she was Krabs' daughter, mirroring aristocratic privilege where power comes from birthright rather than merit. Immediately changing the restaurant to the Cuddly Crab simply because she didn't like the name also reflects how aristocrats commonly use their power to reform society for personal taste, not public need. All in all, aristocracy is a deeply undemocratic form of government, so it's no wonder nobles have been guillotined throughout history. A meritocracy, on the other hand, is far better in this case. In this society, people get ahead based on skills and talents, not because of the family they were born into. Using Mrs. Puff's boating school as an example, the best drivers will be chosen to compete at the Bikini Bottom Grand Prix, not the instructor's favorite student, which everybody already knows ain't SpongeBob.
Floor it!
Okay, floor it!
So why is Mrs. Puff the best character to represent a meritocracy type of government? As the owner of a boating school, she's earned her position through merit and was actually a respectable authority figure in her field, at least before SpongeBob had the audacity to exist.
This reporter asks, why? Local consensus places the blame on this negligent, selfish driving instructor who...
Mrs. Puff also demonstrates meritocratic beliefs in her own teaching. For example, she tries to grade students fairly, although this extra credit assignment she gave SpongeBob was super sus.
So all you have to do to earn your extra credit and pass my class and never have to come anywhere near this school again is write a 10-word sentence on what you've learned in boating school.
On the surface, meritocracy seems like a great idea, and even Plato thought a government run this way was better than democracy. It does have its problems, though. The main one being it's elitist, so only a small group of people might get the best education and opportunities. In Hall Monitor, for example, Mrs. Puff has to select the Hall Monitor of the day. While every student is supposed to get a turn, she does everything in her power to try and exclude the worst pupil in school.
Beth!
She graduated!
Henry! Vera! Clayton!
Mrs. Puff had no choice but to give SpongeBob the hat and belt, and there's really no word to describe the citywide destruction he caused other than pure anarchy. Ironically, his pet snail is representing that next. Anarchy comes from the Greek word anarchia, which means without a leader. In simpler terms, an anarchist society is one with no political order. For a more complicated explanation of anarchism, I'd recommend watching a video essay. For now, we'll go with the popular general misunderstanding of anarchy. So how does Gare Bear embody anarchy? He's just an innocent little snail, right? Wrong. This pesky mollusk does whatever he wants, whenever he wants. In the episode Gary Takes a Bath, SpongeBob tries everything to bathe his stubborn snail: persuasion, bribery, trickery, even scare tactics.
Hello, fancy French restaurant? I've got a naughty snail here who won't take a bath.
Despite all of SpongeBob's attempts to bathe his pet, even putting his own life on the line in the process,
There's a bomb strapped to my chest! It's gonna explode in 3 seconds unless you take a bath! Please.
he constantly fails because Gary just doesn't see him as an authority figure, while SpongeBob likes to think he's a strict pet parent.
Gary! You are gonna finish your dessert, and you are gonna like it!
At the end of the day, he's just a big square softy who probably couldn't even order a used napkin around, let alone someone as defiant as Gary.
Yeah, Gary, I'm getting behind my ears.
Gary embodies anarchy because he constantly rejects any form of authority. Just like an anarchist, he has free and total reign. Normally, he only uses that freedom to laze about and eat as much snail pole as he wants. However, when Bikini Bottom descended into an apocalypse and Sponge out of water, he got maybe just a little too comfy in that pineapple.
Oh, hey, Gary. Plankton and I need you to help us find the Krabby Patty formula and fix Bikini Bottom. What do you mean you don't have to do as I say anymore? What do you mean, king of snails?
SpongeBob ran for his life after Gary sent the snail mafia after him, then realized he could get away by walking at a reasonable pace. A worm would never turn on its owner like that, though. I mean, loyalty is practically flowing through their veins.
He is the pet for me. So loyal, so trusting, always by my side!
Well, there you have it, folks. Big types of government explained by SpongeBob. Which type of government do you think Bikini Bottom should live under? Let me know down in the comment section below, and as usual, click the screen to watch even more awesome videos like this one. And thanks for watching, guys.